Let's begin by looking at the recycler view. The user interface of a list is created inside the recycler view. The recycler view has three components. These are the layout manager, the view holder, and the adapter. Let's look at each one of them. The layout manager, as the name suggests, manages the layout and displays the items of a list in a set pattern. Let's look at this list. The items are arranged in a vertical manner here. But in this app, the items are arranged in a horizontal manner, right? We have seen such lists in the Netflix and Amazon Prime apps. Now sometimes we even have lists like this, where there are two columns in each row and the list scrolls vertically. This behavior of the lists as to how the items will appear is managed by the layout manager. Now, there are two layout managers provided by Android. One is the linear layout manager and the other is the grid layout manager. The linear layout manager manages lists that appear in a vertical or horizontal manner, such as these, while the grid layout manager manages lists which have a grid view, such as this one. So that was all about the layout manager. Let's look at the view holder now. Let's look at this list. Now, since the different items of a list look the same, we know that we will create just one view for an item and then reuse it to create multiple items. After doing so much coding, we understand well enough that we don't need to repeat the steps which lead to the same result. So, every list will have a view, which is the view of an item of the list, right? Now, the view holder is responsible for holding this view, which is the same for each item of the list. The layout manager manages the arrangement of the list items and the view holder holds the view of a list item. Let's look at the role of the adapter now. The adapter is responsible for creating the view that the view holder holds. Also, it binds the view with the data that it will have. We know that each item has different data. This different data is put in a different row with the help of the adapter. But how does the adapter identify which row should have which data? For this, it assigns a position to each row and then sends different data to different rows. All of this will get more clear as we get to the practical part of it. Lastly, the total count of the items in a list is also handled by the adapter. This is simple to understand. We can say that the adapter serves as a bridge between the data and the view and is a pretty important concept of the recycler view. So, we know that we need to take care of these three components of a recycler view while making lists. But there are a lot of things that are automatically taken care of by Android. Let's see what they are. Let's look at this list. Now, we can see only 5 items of the list at once on the screen. But let's say the list has a total of 100 items. And we know that each item's view is being held by the view holder. Now imagine that each view holder is like a box which keeps some items for us. Although our list has 100 items, do we need 100 boxes? Think about it. We only need to show 5 items to the user at one go. Then why should we waste our time and resources in making 100 boxes? So, we'll make only 5 boxes. Now let's say this is row 0, this is row 1, row 2, row 3 and so on. We can thus create 5 view holders for the items being displayed on the screen. Now, as the user scrolls up, the recycler view keeps recycling the view holders that are scrolled up and out of the screen. So let's say we scroll up 2 items. These view holders also scroll up along with the views. Now, these view holders which have scrolled up and out of the screen are recycled and reused. The app takes care of such things and we don't need to worry about all this. Now let's look at some points about the view holder from a coding point of view. When we come to writing the code for view holders, we must know that view holders do not need to be created or inflated. Instead, the app just updates the view's contents to match the new item that the view holder is bound to. We will understand this better when we get to the coding part. Next, when the displayed items change, you need to notify the adapter by calling the recyclerview.adapter.notifyDataSetChanged method. The adapter's built-in code then rebinds the affected items. So, if new items are added to or removed from the list, this change needs to be communicated to the adapter. Okay, so we hope you have a fairly better idea about creating lists now. With the conceptual part being done, it's time to get to the field. In the next video, we will create a recycler view.